So, Courtney, tell me the story about how you came to adopt Agile marketing. I'm always curious about what triggers people's interest and what did they do to begin?
Sure. Yeah. So first of all, I'm Courtney Coburn. I'm really glad to be a part of this community. I've dived into all of the resources that you have. Love it all. Really happy to chat more about my journey. So taking it back a couple of years, I was part of an organization that needed to come up with an innovative way to approach our content strategy. So it was something where we knew we had an end place in mind and needed to figure out as a team how we were going to get there. So I joined a cross-functional team that was very well-versed in Agile and really jumped in and learned by doing. So what I loved about working with this team is that I had the ability to prioritize work. We could manage capacity realistically and really plan what we needed to do. So it was a really effective way of working. And this really opened my eyes to conversations that I felt like should be happening all the time, and really saw the value of this way of working and how it would help us to develop a better product. So I loved it from the start, and the team that I worked with was incredible. They were patient, they were kind, and they really showed up with the right mindset. So I felt fortunate to jump into that environment, to start learning what it meant to work in a more agile way and how that would help us produce better marketing work.
Yeah, that is so important. The mindset that people come to with Agile, I'm convinced
Absolutely.
that's super important. Well, tell me a little bit about how Agile has helped your team improve your content marketing. You've got to create a regular flow of content. Okay. Just tell me a little bit about how it helped that.
Yeah, so in certain roles over the years, I scaled Agile ways of working across the commercial team. So I've seen a lot of really great examples of how Agile marketing has improved our workflows. So I've seen teams where it really honed in their ability to focus on what mattered most. So eliminate the noise, eliminate the waste,
right,
and work on what would drive the highest value for the business and for those that we were serving at that time. I've seen this way of working reduce the upfront planning investment.
okay.
So you can think of those, way gone year-long planning cycles. I'm sure you remember those from a past life.
I have one of those. I have an artifact of one of those that I show people as an example of what not to do. So yes.
Yeah. So by anchoring to a more dynamic, a more quarterly planning cycle that helps the teams to adapt to what's going on in the environment and to bring in insights as they're getting them to continue to deliver value to customers. And from the simplest form, I've seen this way of working really improve team collaboration and communication.
Do you use any tools? Like, do you use Kanban boards? Do you use Scrum or Kanban? I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, so all of the teams that I've worked with in a variety of roles over the years have adopted the Scrum framework. Okay. So really important before the team starts doing Agile, we've talked about what it means to be Agile and how you can approach the work in a bit of a different way and adopt more of that test and learn approach. So really important with that Scrum framework is this quarterly, more cyclical planning cycle. And teams adopt it a little bit differently. I would say we are not, I haven't seen a team actually adopt a daily stand-up, for example. But 2 to 3 times a week, sure, that works fine, depending on the team's way of working.
Yeah, that seems to be very common in marketers that they don't do daily stand-ups, they do 2 or 3 times a week. Well, you talked about test and learn. Tell me about a time that your team, I'm going to use this in quotes, failed, okay? And what I mean is that something really didn't work. And how did you overcome that issue?
Sure. So we talked a little bit about this, but one of the things that I saw pop up across the years was that it was very easy for teams to get caught up in the doing agile. And what I mean by that is going through the motions,
Yeah.
attending the meetings, not really giving, the updates in the right way. So what we've had to do in a variety of situations is pull back and talk more about that culture change, about how we're being agile, how we show up with an agile mindset, why this way of working matters, and why it's important to then do agile and attend all the meetings and all of that good stuff. So pulling back and zooming out to give that bigger picture has really, really helped, because so often it's easy to just show up and go to the sprint events without understanding why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I call that agile theater. And you're right, there is a big difference between doing agile and being agile. Courtney, thank you so much for being here today. And thanks again for being a member of the Alliance.
Absolutely. Glad to be here. Thanks for having the chat, Jim.
Take care.